you're really a boy. Marissa suggests with a hatred I've never felt from anyone else before. Let me do you a favor, skank, and give you a haircut more fitting for the boy you clearly want to be. Get off her! Alice screams, standing over me with both her hands out, like she's just thrust out instinctively.
Exhausted from the day, Alex approaches the front door of her house with a heavy heart. Alice has done her best to cheer her up, but after the encounter with Marissa and her scissors, Alex has been pretty quiet. "Are you sure you don't want to talk about it?" Alice asks, following Alex up the garden path. Alex takes a step onto the front porch and shakes her head. "Nah, I'm fine. Thanks for walking me home." "That's what teammates are for," Alice beams, placing a hand on the top of Alex's head. With Alice's hand on her head, Alex gives her a polite but forced smile. Although she's troubled, at least the silver lining to all this is that she's made a new friend. "I'd invite you in," Alex mumbles as her face goes a little red. "But my family's a little strange." Alice takes her hand from Alex's head and begins to wave it. "It's okay," Alice replies politely. "I'm in desperate need of a shower myself. I haven't shaved in days, and I'm getting pretty bushy." "Oh," Alex chuckles nervously. "Well, I'll be seeing ya." Alice smiles and turns to walk away. "Message me later. We can walk to school together tomorrow. Hopefully Leah's feeling better too." Leah is the first friend Blake made after transforming into Alex. She's been off school sick, and Alex doesn't know why. "Yeah, okay," Alex says, waving Alice off as she walks away. "See you tomorrow." Allowing her backpack to slide from her shoulders, Alex turns the handle on the front door and walks inside. Closing the door behind her, she leans up against it and drops her bag to the floor. Hair falling into her eyes, she lets out a long breath and stares at the ceiling. It's been a long day for her, and she hopes tomorrow can only be better. "Blake?" Steve, her father, calls out from the other room. "Is that you?" "Yup," Alex answers flippantly, kicking off her shoes as she moves away from the door. Hanging her school bag on a nearby hook, Alex thinks about rushing upstairs to hide in her room. She's still feeling pretty glum and doesn't want to face the Spanish Inquisition about her second day as a schoolgirl. "How was school?" Steve asks, appearing in the doorway to the living room. "Was that a new friend I just saw you with?" "She's very tall." Alex walks past her father and avoids eye contact. "Blake?" Steve repeats, confused by Alex's non-response. "I'm talking to you." "I'm fine, Dad," she huffs, rushing towards the stairs. "And my name is Alexis now, remember?" He looks sheepishly in his new daughter's direction and nervously rubs the back of his neck. Yeah, sorry," he says, and then points to the kitchen. "Do you want some dinner?" Alex shakes her head and starts walking up the stairs to her room. She feels like crying, but doesn't want to show that to her father. Even just thinking about the stuff Marissa said makes her want to break down in tears. "Hey, Alex?" Steve calls out for an answer as she stomps up the stairs. "Do you want some food or—" Alex doesn't answer. She, in fact, speeds up and hurries to her room. Bursting through her door and into her room, Alex unbuttons her school blazer to take it off. Throwing it to the floor, she lets out a long breath and falls flat onto her bed. "Ah!" She screams directly into the bedsheets. Turning just enough to remove her tie, she resumes the position and lays face down on her bed. Unable to think of anything else but Marissa, she can't help but stress and worry. Not only that, she's meant to be meeting up with Luke after school tomorrow. Her mind is ablaze with everything that's going on. She can't stop thinking about how awful she was during soccer practice. She can't stop reliving all the nasty things Marissa said. She also can't help but feel ugly and not worth Luke's time. "Ah!" Alex screams again into the bedsheets as tears bubble in her eyes. Eventually, laying flat on her chest becomes rather uncomfortable, and that only adds to her frustration. Reluctantly rolling over, she stares up at the ceiling. Having to fight the hairs that have fallen into her eyes and mouth, Alex grits her teeth hard. "I hate this," she shouts, kicking her legs in frustration. Having a mini temper tantrum on the bed, Alex thumps it with her hands several times before closing her eyes tight. "Things were so much easier when I was a boy," Alex laments, covering her face as tears dribble from her eyes. Just as Alex wants to scream out again, there's a gentle knock on her open door. "Sweetie?" "Amy," Alex's mom says softly as she stands in the doorway. "Is everything okay?" "We can hear you shouting." Alex covers her face completely to hide the fact she's crying. Having to force herself to speak, Alex squeaks a reply. Yeah, I'm fine." Amy doesn't answer straight away. She just watches her new daughter lay on her bed with her hands covering her face. Sensing everything isn't okay, Amy takes a step into Alex's room and reaches down to pick up her blazer. "Hard, isn't it?" Amy states, hanging up Alex's blazer on a closet door handle. "What?" Alex replies rudely through her fingers. "Adjusting," Amy answers as she pretends to clean. "I know how you feel. I had to go through it too." "How do you know what I'm feeling?" Alex snaps, turning away and going fetal. "I might not have swapped genders, but I did have to adjust when I stopped being a grimalkin and transformed into my human form." Amy sits on the side of Alex's bed and puts her hands on her lap. She stares up at the ceiling and looks deep in thought. Going from being quick, powerful, and so beautiful as a grimalkin to becoming this skinny human woman was very jarring, Amy explains, looking down at her own hands. Everything was so alien. My body no longer felt like mine, and I felt lost, confused, and unhappy. Alex says nothing. She can't relate to her mother because she has no idea what a grimalkin looks like. Amy looks over her shoulder and down at her daughter lying in the fetal position. She places a single hand on Alex's hip and squeezes. "What I'm trying to say is that I'm here if you want to talk about anything. I know being a human woman can be very hard and confusing. Sometimes I can't stop myself from worrying about every little detail. But it does help to talk." Silence again as Amy just holds her hand on her daughter's side. However, Alex lowers her hands from her face to talk. "A girl at school is bullying me," Alex admits, talking through her tears. "And a boy's asked me out, and I can't stop worrying, Mom. It's affecting me so much. I can't even concentrate on my soccer." Amy gazes down at her daughter and is stunned for a moment as she tries to take that all in. Moving her hand from Alex's side, she rubs her eye and scratches her face. "Someone's bullying you?" Amy asks, trying to control her raging maternal instincts. "Alice thinks she feels threatened by me," Alex answers plainly, staring into the distance. "I've not done anything to her, and she's targeting me. I promise, Mom, I'm not trying to be prettier than her. I just want to play soccer." "Alice?" Amy asks curiously. "Was that the tall girl with you just now?" "Yeah." "She's a pretty young thing, huh?" "Really easy to talk to as well," Alex says, shuffling up on the bed to sit up against the headboard. "She protected me." Amy's expression becomes serious and worried. "Protected?" she asks. Alex's head drops, and tears bubble in her eyes as she thinks about what Marissa almost did to her. Having to bite her bottom lip, Alex tries desperately to stop herself from getting emotional in front of her mother. "Alex?" Amy reaches across to gently touch Alex's face. "What happened?" Alex blubs, and her emotions run wild. She, Alex sobs, "tried to cut off my hair." "What a dog," Amy growls angrily, holding her hand against her daughter's face to comfort her. "I assume that Alice girl stopped her?" Alex nods and sniffs back the tears. "Do you want me to sort it out for you?" Amy asks, having to fight the urge to find Marissa and teach her a lesson. Alex shakes her head and sniffs back once again. "No, Mom." Upset for her new daughter, Amy takes her hand from Alex's face and gets up close with a wide but forced grin. She knows changing the subject would be a good idea. "So," Amy giggles, "a boy asked you out on a date? That's something, huh?" Alex blushes like crazy and instantly looks away. Yeah, she bashfully mumbles. "Am I supposed to like boys? Now I'm a girl?" Alex asks, fiddling anxiously with her hands. "He's charming, Mom, and I do think he's attractive for a boy, but I'm just not sure what I'm supposed to do. I feel like if I go out with him, he's gonna find out I was a boy once and get all upset." Amy furrows her brow and thinks for a moment. "Is it defo a date, and not just you being invited out with him and his friends?" "Coach asked the same thing," Alex replies, wiping tears from her eyes. "I guess I won't know until tomorrow when we're meeting up after school." "Tomorrow?" Amy asks curiously. "Yeah, why?" Amy glances over at Alex's closet and knows they've barely brought their new daughter anything needed to pass as a teenage girl. "Have you thought about what you're going to wear?" Alex looks stumped. "Clothes, I guess," she answers flippantly. "Oh, Alex," Amy laughs in response. "You can't just wear jeans and a t-shirt now you're a girl. We're going to have to put a little more effort into it." Amy looks down at the bed. "Come to think of it," she says, deep in thought, "I don't think I've taught you anything yet about feminine hygiene, have I?" Alex gives her mother a confused look and shrugs. "Surely I, just wash like normal?" Amy tilts her head to one side and beams a soft smile, and then she slowly shakes her head. "Not quite. Of course, it's completely up to you, but I'd recommend shaving all over." That's when the spark of a good idea lights up the light bulb in Amy's head. She jumps up from the bed and claps her hands together. "I'm going to teach you how to have an everything bath. When we are finished, you'll feel like $1,000,000.